Hello again, everyone. Fro here, hopefully your favorite fighting game commentator slash gamer on here, continuing with some more X-Men Legends. Before I get started, I kind of wanted to mention I'm still learning this stuff. So on the previous videos, if you've been watching, you might have seen my closing stuff kind of get cut off because I've never realized that that's part of how streaming latency works. So yeah, I'm still figuring this out, just kind of learning as I go. It's been a fun experience just getting to yap about some of my favorite games and just do this as a little casual thing. But yeah, it is something I'll keep in mind and hopefully fix as I move forward. So last time we just finished rescuing Gambit from the Morlock sewers, the most exciting place on Earth, and we end up arriving on board the USS Arbiter, a ship where apparently Magneto, or well, not Magneto yet, I guess, but the Brotherhood are cooking up a scheme here, and it's up to us to do something about it. I'm just trying to remember why I have Rogue on the team right now. Okay, so my options were I wanted to have a second source of physical damage, and my options were Beasts or Wolverine. And Wolverine is, he's the popular guy. Everybody plays Wolverine at some point playing this game because, I mean, he's literally the first character you get to control. Uh, I believe I had gone over Gambit ever so slightly, like in my last run, but anyway, this is the team that we're going with for the Arbiter mission: Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Iceman. And crucially, Nightcrawler is level 12, meaning he's one level away from being able to equip the Hammer of Nimrod, which is potentially a crucial item for how we handle some of the enemies we're about to see on board of this ship. So let's go ahead and get this mission started. He's the blob. Little loading screens. Alright, so we're fighting the Urso soldiers. Sorry, I'm just gonna double check something here real quick. Before I get started and get all right, good to go. Yeah, this is what we wanted to be careful of. We've got sentinels. These things are dangerous. Luckily, we have probably one of the better teams that we have for quickly dismantling them. Okay, I want to make sure I take down those tubes because that's how they keep spawning. Is Kurt from a level up? Not too far.
I must continue the battle. Will do.
It was like a one-shot. What? I got a little greedy there, just trying to save my energy, taking out that Sentinel with normal punches and kicks, and I end up losing Nightcrawler. Thankfully, we're right at the start, so we can get him right back, but that is a cautionary tale. Gotta be more careful there. Alright. Wait, I'm short? Okay. Okay, we have shop access. We have shop access. This is still not completely gone. As long as we have something worth selling to Forge, we'll be able to get Kurt back on his feet. Just gotta deal with these load screens. Alright, here's Forge. Psionic Deflector, Strike Enhancer. Okay, we're good. Agility Enhancer because that is useless. targeting implant. We can sell one of these and one of the weakness analyzers. Of course, we want to keep the Hammer of Nimrod, because that's kind of one of the main reasons we're fielding Kurt. I just hope he actually gets to level up enough to make use of it on the Sentinels. We'll see how that goes. Alright, take 2, reviving Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
There we go. Thank you, Patrick Stewart. Alright, so this mission is pretty long. Definitely one of the longer ones in the game, because it's got a lot of different parts to it. We've got, right now, just on board of the deck here. I wouldn't know which deck it is. I've seen them named across so many games that I can never remember them.
Combo!
But yeah, as we keep fighting through here, and we start fighting a bunch of these soldiers as well as sentinels, the thing with taking out these tubes is that we can never really take them out before any of the sentinels get online and start attacking.
Incoming! I'm on it.
Okay, that's a nice little chunk for Nightcrawler.
Chill out.
Off of that one sentinel, so hopefully we'll be at level 13 soon. That's a great crit. Allowing us to one-shot the soldier. Oh, Iceman's been waiting to level up. Sorry, Bobby. Alright, so could put on some more points in body, a bit more durability. Can we level this up? No. And there's nothing else worth putting points into, so we might as well wait for level 14 and just upgrade this to ice equipment, which is going to allow us to armor up the whole team as long as they're nearby. That's going to be really nice to help with our durability in a game where, as we just saw, it can be at a premium sometimes. Oh, okay. Alright, let's let Rogue get in on some action here. Alright, that's not bad damage.
I'm on it.
Another tube shut down.
Combo!
You bet.
Rogue.
Will do.
This was not cool. I'm gonna stay away
I
from the
can
front of
defeat
the
the devil
sentinel.
himself.
Oh, Nightcrawler leveled up. Alright. This is what we've been waiting for. Rogue also leveled up, so focus, because her energy reserves are pretty low. Might's topped out, so might as well add points to bulletproof. I guess I'll put a muscle accelerator on her, help with her rather lacking speed. Alright, here we go. So we'll put the Hammer of Nimrod on Nightcrawler and point and body, maybe after what happened earlier. Oh wait, do we have another point? Oh, I haven't put anything. I haven't powered it up yet. And this is really good because now Teleport Flurry's damage is going to be significantly higher. Like it went into a really good damage
Ain't
bracket
nothing
here.
gonna stop me now.
Affirmative.
Did y'all know she's the Southern Belle? Alright,
Incoming!
so we see the Sentinel. Boom, boom,
Combo!
boom, boom.
Combo!
There's the damage we've been looking for.
Yes.
Oh,
Combo!
okay, Cyclops nearly got obliterated by missiles there, but luckily we were able to take out the Sentinel right before it started launching. Okay. That's a cute little way to put an invisible wall there.
You're going down! Combo!
Another benefit to Cyclops' long reach, being able to take down enemies with guns real quick. Alright, onto the aft flight deck. Just in case you didn't know, we've been fighting Sentinels this whole time. They're dangerous mostly because of the amount of damage they can do. They're pretty slow, but if they attack in bulk, they can be really difficult.
Too bad the Sentinels didn't kill you off, ex-morons. Go
Going down.
Alright, so that's Blob making his escape.
Let's see what you got.
But yeah, they did mention something about the Sentinels
Combo.
and the Brotherhood getting files off of Muir Island.
So tough.
Alright, I'll make sure I keep the stream of damage going here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Combo.
That's a lot of damage out of nowhere off of one hit. X-Men Legends in a nutshell. Okay, let's make it to the extraction point.
Yeah.
And yes, that pun is exactly what you think it is. Extraction. Okay, rare equipment, let's pick that up first. Shadowcat's Touch. I believe that does higher damage to Sentinels if you punch and kick them. But it needs level 15 and I mean, that would be useful, I guess, on Iceman, since we're punching and kicking a lot with him anyway, but, you know, we're not level 15 yet. Our highest level character is Cyclops, and he's 13. Alright, save just in case things go south. Yeah, having no World Cup games has left my days feeling surprisingly open. Alright, upgraded Sentinels.
I don't. Will do.
Let's put this out because it's throwing off Nightcrawler's targeting. Whoa. Why is Nightcrawler's not targeting the Sentinel for some reason? That'll do it.
I will comply.
Okay, like, come on, Kurt. We've been we've been hyping this up this whole time. Like, since the last episode, we've been hyping up the fact that Nightcrawler can, you know, body Sentinels in a few hits if he gets the Hammer of Nimrod equipped. And right now, it worked out on the normal Sentinels. I don't know why on the Sentinel controller it was such a big deal. All right.
I'm on it.
This is how we're opening up the next part of our path. There we go. Bit overkill if you ask me, but oh, there's a Grisser soldier over there. All right, coming for you. Oh, we just never taken this guy out.
Sorry about that.
Nice. And down we go. I guess from here on, I think from here on, if I'm not mistaken, there are no more Sentinels. So it's kind of a shame we don't get to use the hammer for that long. But with Teleport Flurry's damage being where it is right now, Nightcrawler can still do solid work. But now, okay, I'm trying to remember. The other DNA generator was on, I want to say it was on Gene. Okay, so we can do this for the time being instead. Oh, save point. Wait, never mind. We can just... Because Kurt spends so much energy for a single teleport flurry, so I definitely want him to be able to attack more frequently. Okay, there it was. So we'll unequip this and put it on Nightcrawler. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Alright, and yeah, we'll keep the team as it is. I've never used Rogue all the way through the game. I'm not necessarily planning on changing that for this run, but you know, for the time being, she can stick around since she provides an extra bit of physical damage. Yeah, part of the incessant saving is just my extremely cautious nature. Yeah, you can see Cyclops' beams can aim slightly up or down, depending on if he's locked onto an enemy that way. Oh, he's already burned through all of his energy like that? Alright. Level up for Scotty.
All right.
Let's see. More points into focus, as usual. In case this is your first time catching up with what's going on here, focus is the stat that allows us to use our mutant power attacks and also regenerate the energy needed for those attacks as fast as possible. And for Cyclops, this is key, but that's because that's basically how he does all of his damage, just with these Optic Blasts.
Will do.
Alright, yeah, Iceman's really pretty helpful around here since he can do two things we're going to need a fair amount on this mission, building bridges and putting out fires.
All right.
Speaking
I'll have
of,
it.
just looking around for some more enemies. Alright, things going fairly smoothly so far. Apart from Kurt's death
Will do.
earlier.
Let's see what you got.
Okay, yeah, these blue-clad Gersos are giving some pretty nice experience, 200 plus. Okay, I don't remember the path exactly, but, you know, we're trying to get into the ship, so I imagine... Okay, there we go. I see a staircase over there on the map that should get us closer.
Time you freaks learned
Let's
a
let
lesson.
Rogue lead.
Combo.
That's not so bad.
Combo.
Okay, this is something I want to try to show off for Cyclops. So those traps will either do damage or sap your energy, and pretty much every other character has to deal with them up close, or because they can't hit it without having to lock on. Cyclops, on the other hand, as you might have just seen, can just use his optic beam without needing to actually lock on if you just aim it properly and just take out those traps. And that is a surprisingly big benefit because it means that you get into those fights without getting constantly stun locked or having your energy drained to zero and being stuck with dinky punches and kicks as your only option. Alright, we're inside the ship, but we haven't reached the stressful segment of this yet.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yes.
out of bounds. I completely forgotten that Rogue leveled up. I completely forgot about Rogue. Let's see. More bulletproof. I mean, extra points in flight doesn't really do much. Toughness? Yeah, more bulletproof. Not that we've been activating it much, but
All right.
it's the thought that counts, right? Another
Okay.
fire. Like, the main reason I'm putting these out isn't that I'm afraid of the damage. It's that I don't want my characters to lock onto those instead of locking onto enemies. Alright. Okay, this
Follow me.
is a really annoying part of this mission. These Sentinel pods are really weird because Sentinels are invincible when they're... Whoa! That was a lot of damage. Okay.
Thanks for playing.
Sentinels are invincible as long as they're standing inside of it. The thing is, your partner characters will swarm the Sentinel and kind of trap it and not let it get out. So if I didn't summon them to me the way I just did, we would have been stuck fighting that Sentinel for a while till it decided to move.
Let's see what
Okay,
you got.
gotta be careful. That is an energy sapping trap. Those things are extremely dangerous. Okay, got it. But I think Rogue and Nightcrawler might have gotten that energy sapped anyway. Wait. Ah, that... I forgot that's what these guys' guns do.
You bet.
They just completely drain all your energy.
All right.
Luckily we got some energy packs here. Okay, good stuff. That almost got a bit dicey when we got hit by the energy sapping beam, but everything's alright. Whoa.
I'm on it.
Where did Kurt go?
Combo.
Okay, there he is. He came back. Went on a little exploration mission. Okay, the optic beam hit the grenade. I have played through this game no less than I want to say 6 or 7 times,
Will do.
and I think that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. All right, yeah. See what I'm talking about with the fires attracting our mutant power targeting?
No wonder the ladies love me. I'm on it.
Just in case you didn't know, Bobby Drake is a flirt. Okay, he hasn't leveled up to 14 yet, so
I'm on
that's
it.
a false level up indicator that we're dealing with. Not one that I'm going to take seriously anyway. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, and we are back. Sorry about that, nature called. All right. Save point just to stay safe over here. As we proceed into the next part of the mission, and okay, no, not yet. All right, I'm gonna try to keep everybody close by.
Affirmative.
Combo!
Will do.
Let Nightcrawler do his thing as Cyclops destroys the console thing. There we go. That was ideal, basically, dealing with the Sentinel plus the control panel exactly like that.
You're going down.
Yeah, with how often enemies like to run, like you saw Rogue over there, right? She was dashing in like, I got him! And by the time she got there, we'd already blasted him twice with Cyclops and he was gone. So,
Set and match.
another point in Cyclops' favor as to why he's a good character. Oh, okay. Trap. Let's see.
Incoming!
There we go. Trap neutralized, and now we can continue to fight these guys.
Combo!
Alright. Just had to focus in a bit on that little room there. Okay, here we go. Gotta be careful how we fight this thing,
Combo!
as usual.
Combo!
Yes.
Combo!
Oh, we've taken off the hammer. I completely forgot.
Booyah!
Huh? Oh, no. What? I didn't walk far away enough from the grenade. Alright, alright, alright. This is why we loaded up on tech bits. Just to rescue us from this. The thing is, like, you could ask the question, why not buff your character's durability since death seems to be, you know, so frequent. Thing is, I could do that, but the amount of damage enemies do really will outstrip most of possible tanky builds that you could go for. It's just, especially Sentinels, their damage is just too high. So you pretty much just bank on trying to take out enemies before they take you out as much as possible.
Cyclops.
All right, bring Cyclops back. Oh, Iceman reached the level up that we wanted, so now we can put on ice equipment. At least that could help with our situation with survival, because now when Iceman armors up, he's going to spread the buff and spread the love from that across the whole team, as long as they're close enough. And that can be critical to helping us stay alive. The damage reduction isn't that big, but, you know, it could still come in handy. Alright, so we'll continue with this team. Rogue being the world's best spectator. I'm being pretty harsh on her. She is like... the thing with this game is that you can really beat it with any set of characters if you really put your mind to it. But some are just higher effort than others to use. Some require more on your part and will probably cause you more pain as you try to accomplish beating the game with them. So Rogue definitely falls squarely into that, but we'll keep her for a while, just for variety's sake. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Help! I can't hold out much longer. Look out!
Okay, that went really poorly. That went really poorly, handling that gun there. Whoa, a little stutter there. My PlayStation 2 having issues.
Yes.
Okay, gotta be careful of those machine guns.
Didn't expect that. Haha! I feel invincible.
Or those turrets, rather. Whatever you want to call them, but wow. Am I forgetting stuff about the game? Like, I did a playthrough pretty recently, but it feels like a lot of details in how the game works are surprising me or catching me off guard. Alright, teleport frenzy. Huh, wait, is that... Oh, we get an extra attack. Okay, we get 5 attacks instead of 4, which is what the next level up does, despite not increasing the damage per attack. But likely for Nightcrawler, whenever we get to level 15, we're going to unlock his extreme blindside blitz. Definitely one of the best extremes available in the game. Let's see, should I... It hasn't worked yet, but maybe it will. With that high of a chance, hopefully it procs if we get into trouble again. When we get into trouble again, because it feels like a given at this point. Just do a quick walk around. See if there are any more health packs lying around. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to search any farther than that. On to the next area we go. Yeah, for reasons that'll make themselves apparent soon, Iceman is essentially a must for this mission. At least he's one of the safest options you should pick here. Oh, no.
Close ranks.
Combo!
I will comply.
Combo! Combo!
Still alive? Okay. And there's the control panel destroyed. Try to pay attention this time to make sure that, that it doesn't drop a grenade when I'm not looking. That was what did Cyclops in last time. It does so much damage.
I bet that
Oh, that guy was already dead.
Let's see what you got.
You bet.
I should never put points into
Combo!
ability drain. It is so bad. And the thing is, the AI now will start using it instead of using her Southern Punch, so That's not going to be good. Alright, just got to be careful here. Okay, luckily those fires are temporary, so they don't put off our targeting for too long. Great crit, great crit. Putting all those points into accuracy for Cyclops is paying off. When 10% of our beams
Ain't
are
nothing gonna stop me now.
doing that much damage, like that's about triple. So that is pretty handy. Okay. Yeah, I guess I was mentioning earlier how not having any World Cup games right now makes my days feel weirdly empty. I don't know how to feel particularly about the semifinal lineup. I know for sure, being half Egyptian, that I did not want Argentina there, but it is what it is. Then we have, so it's going to be England, Argentina, which is going to be Messi's first encounter against England somehow for all the major tournaments both countries have been involved with. They've just never faced each other. That'll be different. Let's put one into... No, let's hold off and just get Iron Maiden. So that'll be interesting to see how Messi copes with that pressure, since there's a lot of, you know, historically based animosity between the nations that can come to the fore. People will talk about, oh, it's a new age. People don't talk about that anymore. I've seen lesser forms of prejudice, or I should say, not lesser forms. All prejudice sucks, but I'm saying, like, I've seen people get prejudiced over less than that already this World Cup. Smaller factors and factors that are completely out of people's control that you should not ever hate them for, and people have definitely been bringing that stuff out. So there being history on top of everything else, considering, you know, the political history between the nations, the World Cup history between the nations, what with Maradona's heroics / cheating in 1986. So there's going to be a lot of baggage in that match, I'd imagine, especially with the stress both teams are under from their home crowds. Add on top of that, just that England are feeling the heat of being, you know, that this is a big chance for them, really.
Right.
They know this. Okay, Sentinel's finally out of the invincibility area.
You bet.
Please. Okay. See, I was just focusing on killing it before describing what was happening there. So the Sentinel's hands being out that way means that it's about to launch one of its stronger attacks, either missiles or its poison gas or gas cloud or whatever. Iceman, since he slows enemies down with his ice beams, had slowed the Sentinel down so that the attack wouldn't come out on time. And I was trying to make sure I could blast it and take it down before anything could launch out of its hands.
You bet.
Alright, slow this guy down. Alright. That'll do. Bit of a stressful segment we just had there with the Sentinel especially, but
Affirmative.
You bet.
all good to go.
Yes.
Down to the brig. Like I mentioned at the start, this mission is pretty lengthy, but at least you get a decent variety of how things look as opposed to the Morlock sewers. And it doesn't look as bleak. I might be doing some
It's Vlad.
mad copium
He's
here.
destroying the ship's generators and cracking the hull in the process. I can.
Now, here's the thing. Yeah, these are going to be little welding points. Cyclops' punching blast can somehow weld metal in this game. It is what it is. But this is the reason, the story reason that Jean isn't playable on this mission, is that she's supposed to help us from afar and kind of psychically monitor everything that's going on. Now, the thing we're doing is we need to rescue these guys, the crew of the Arbiter. Luckily, they're all noted on the
Okay.
map.
Time you freaks learned a
I'm
lesson.
on it.
Just got to be careful here with these guys. Oh, I need to actually talk to the crew member. Thankfully, they don't have life bars, so this isn't an escort mission per se. Thankfully, those grenades don't do too much damage.
Affirmative.
Okay, that's one. I believe there are somewhere between 2 to 4 members in each area. Okay. These welding points also necessitate, at least for comfort's sake, deploying either Cyclops or Storm, because they're the 2 characters that can fix these up. Magma can do it too, but we don't have her playable on-field missions yet.
Heads up! Combo!
A nice combo there with Rogue, did some pretty solid damage.
You're going down.
And I don't know if it was obvious there on the clock, but if you weren't looking at it, but welding those welding areas causes us to gain extra time. Let's see, is it worth losing the speed? It's only 10%. Having more energy is more important.
My God! Incoming!
My God!
Thanks for playing.
That's probably my favorite incoming call by far. The game does that just to kind of notify you of things like bombs. I just wish I'd listened to it when Cyclops had died to that Sentinel earlier.
Affirmative.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, Iceman, critical to this mission's success. Now, Storm can put out fires with her Whirlwind move, but the problem with that is that you're using Whirlwind, which is definitely the weaker of Storm's power options, and spreading your points too thin is not the best way to go about this game, honestly speaking. And there's no New Game Plus. Every run you start of this game is just a completely fresh run. What? Why is an Iceman targeting that fire? Whatever.
Will do.
Alright. I thought I was switching to Kurt, that's why I accidentally did the ability drain there. Oh my god. PS2 be struggling.
Yes.
My very clearly authentic PlayStation 2 is struggling to run this game sometimes. Alright, level 15, which is going to have Cyclops be our first character to get his abilities to the next level, to the second row. I guess the Cyclops fights from afar, this makes more sense. I don't know, I'll just equip a random one, neither of them are that useful. First point into body, and another point into focus. Now Cyclops finally gets Optic Blast, which means his blast will now
There's no
pierce
stopping me
through
now.
enemies rather than stopping at the first one. It's a pretty important change
You
and
bet. Yes.
definitely helps him handle
I'm on
bigger
it.
groups of enemies better. Okay, gotta be careful walking through this. Clearly my partners didn't get the memo. On to the infirmary. Now, you could pose the question, what if you go ahead and you haven't rescued all the crew members? The game has a failsafe for that. It does tell you that you can't move ahead until you've finished all your objectives in the current area. Probably also a loading thing that you don't have too many areas loaded up at once.
Let's see what you got.
Let's see, I was waiting for Rogue to get to level 14. But yeah, you can see the beam there. It's now piercing through enemies. So if enemies are lined up, we can take out a whole bunch of them at once.
My God! Incoming! Look out!
Yeah, like that. Alright, awesome. That went fairly smoothly, but Nightcrawler keeps taking damage.
I'm on it.
Let's see what you got.
There we go. He's been a pretty risky character to use, I guess because of how he teleports himself right into trouble. Yeah, all that water at the bottom there, in case it wasn't obvious, is a death zone. Okay.
Heads up!
Yeah, it's too bad these things don't do much damage to the enemies, especially considering how much of my health bar they wipe out if I accidentally hit them. Yeah, we're starting to gather extreme tokens. You can see the X-Men icon filling up down there at the bottom. If one of them fills up, they're, you know, a 4-piece thing. If one of them fills up, that allows us to use an extreme attack. Okay, we can't do this yet, which means we have to find the switch that turns it off, which is probably on the other side of this area.
Okay.
Time for Iceman to
Yes.
do the biggest thing he came here to do. There's a crew member. And extra time. Those look like welding points to you, but to me, they're 4 extra minutes on my time limit. Alright, crewmen. I don't think the crewmates can fall off there. That would be pretty brutal if they could. Okay, let's just get rid of this thing. Oh, I think, is that the exit? Yeah, let's just drop this guy off. You're welcome. Okay, yeah, I guess the point was to walk around. Yeah, I see with the piercing beam we're able to just destroy a bunch of stuff at once. But still not strong enough to get through walls. Let's hit this switch to... That'll turn off the fire to make our path back a little bit smoother. Rogue,
Okay.
not a 14 yet. Okay. Yeah, that turret was looking scary. Glad I took it out quickly. Alright, let's see where our next crewmate is.
Okay. Incoming!
Put this out, throw this out the way. Let's start punching these guys. Okay, yeah, you see there on Rogue when we activated the ice equipment, her hands are now encased in ice. She'll do some energy damage with her attacks, but not nearly as much as Iceman himself is doing through his passive. But the point of that was to showcase the buff being activated on everyone. Okay, we can hit this switch. Yeah, that's to also shorten our path. Okay, we're definitely not going to be short on tech bits during this segment.
You're going down.
Okay, yeah, that'll go to the other side. Hold on a
X-Men,
minute.
I need your help.
I'll help you when I can, Kurt. We just got to take care of these guys real quick. That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually there's, like in these games, there's a bit of a layer of protection on the characters you're not controlling yourself, just to kind of prevent the AI from being a big pain. But those protections weren't at their best yet in this game. So
Let's see what you got.
partner characters will get in trouble. Okay, well, hold on. No, this is us going backwards, so that's not how we want to go. Whoa, okay. Cyclops dodged that. That was good. Because you saw these guys are chunking him for like a quarter of his health at once. Alright, Rogue with a level up, which means now she can access Iron Maiden. Focus. Usually the answer is focus.
Yes. I'm on it.
Alright. The combo damage. That's Cyclops' leadership buff going into effect there when the flurry went in, because Nightcrawler was not taking down that enemy on his own damage. The proportions on this art are fascinating. It's true for most of them, really. Like, Rogues and Nightcrawlers are two of the more normal looking ones. They definitely cleaned up the aesthetic in the later entries.
Look out!
Okay, got it. I can't quite.
Set and match.
Can't.
I don't have enough power. You bet.
Yeah, already. Yeah, failed at hitting that, which means everybody's going to be on low energy for a bit. Too heavy. Scotty, what's the barbell in your room doing? Focus enhancers, see if anybody can make use of that. Cyclops should already have one. I guess we'll just upgrade. You know what? Body enhancer makes more sense on Iceman because he's basically the team's tank. I'll hold on to the focus enhancer and give it to whoever I add to the team whenever we kick off Rogue once we finish this mission. Oh, okay. Oh, are we? Okay, yeah, never mind. I think. Oh, okay, there's a little collectible over there. Pick that up and then hit the switch to... Wait, this wall should be... It's not breakable? Okay, losing time here. Should have been doing that. Should have been doing that. Okay.
Right.
Iceman builds the
All right.
bridge. Yeah, you have to actually lock on, and you can't do that from this side. That is not worth the risk.
Think you're bad, Muty?
Mike, look, incoming!
Okay. Careful here.
All right.
Rogue just stuns him. Ability drain actually doing something good. Right, body and focus and Iceman. So, do I give him freeze frame? Enhance his ice powered punches, or give him deep freeze? You know, we're doing enough damage for now that picking one of the other options sounds more sensible. Like, his punches are doing okay, so it's either his extreme or deep freeze. Let's go with deep freeze. We're still doing 0 damage, but freezing enemies is never a bad thing.
You bet. All right.
All right. Yeah, there we go. That one time I've lined up the blast since we've gotten that upgrade.
Let's see what you got. Combo!
Aha, and now Nightcrawler catches up as well. Things are shaping up nicely. And I just realized that we can't upgrade Teleport Frenzy right now anyway. Needs level 20. So, either way, Blindside Blitz is finally on.
He's the devil himself.
Assuming we get into a skirmish with a whole bunch of enemies crowding up, that'll be our chance to show that off.
Okay.
I'm getting confused on my paths here. Okay. There's one crew member. Okay, Okay, I'll just drop this guy off real quick and try to remember where the other one was. I mean, he's one of those icons right there, but I'm just trying to remember which one. That's the welding point. I might actually need it. Okay, there we go. That was risky because if I'd messed up that jump, that was going to be an instant death. That is not the crewmate. Then he's over there on the other side, I guess. One of these days I'll make sure to actually remember directions in a game I play. That is something I just do not do well. Okay, here's a path we haven't walked yet. I thought I'd run into at least an enemy or two here. Alright,
Right.
this man put out this fire so we can get this guy out. Okay, we're good now. Okay, we can just walk around this. Okay, crewmate dropped off successfully. Now, question is, where is our exit? Because it should be where we haven't gone yet.
Think you're bad, Muty?
Alright.
Combo!
Seeing enemies is a good sign. Alright. Time to do this. Whoa. Whoa!
Yes.
Blitzed our performance. En route to just taking out all those enemies. But yeah, aside from that stutter, you probably noticed why Blindside Blitz is so good. It did like 400 damage to each enemy per hit, and it does a lot of hits. Most extremes are like single hit, and I don't know why they're that way, and they do that amount of damage for their single hit. Nightcrawler just gets absolute privilege with Blindside Blitz. Okay, no save point. Time getting a bit tighter than I'd like, but we still should be okay. Alright, let's play some more Rogue since, you know, she's not going to be long for this team, so I might as well let her get some action. But yeah, you saw, like, all that time I take to walk over there when I could just Optic Blast. Okay, there we go, avoiding the gunfire, stomping them. Exclusive to heavy characters, that.
See what you got.
Okay, I mean, hopefully I can nail the trap this time.
Lousy mutant!
That's throwing the aim off.
Right. All right.
I thought that was spot on.
Okay.
I am struggling right now.
Yes.
Couldn't get my alignment right, and I can't afford too much time doing this. Okay, fire
do.
here. Put it out, because that probably means there's a crewmate. That's been the pattern. These are the last two that we have to rescue.
Will do.
And we still have 10 minutes, so we're doing fine. I hope. Okay, no path that way, so we continue this way.
Okay.
Back to Rogue. Gotta love that. Oh yeah, Rogue has might, so she can just pick up things like this. Yeah, that's her. That's just the 10-minute warning from Jean. Okay, was that a... No, hold on. Get my bearings here. Okay, think this is where I'm supposed to go. Yeah.
All right.
Got it.
I just switched to Cyclops on reflex. I'll admit the punch is doing way better than I thought it would. Okay, looks like we have bridges to build. And some time to make up through welding. Let's go.
I'll hold this wall together while you fix it.
Alright, first we need
Okay.
Bobby to put up the
I'm
bridge
on it.
for us. And that's 4 bonus minutes on our timer.
Think you're bad, Muty?
But yeah, looking at how much time I have left, I think we've gotten something like
Will do.
8 minutes maybe from how much welding we did. No, more than that. I actually think without welding, we might have been in some real trouble here.
Yes.
Pardon me. Alright, use this to break open the wall.
You bet. Yeah. I'm on it.
Got it.
Trying to use as much of the team as I
You
can.
bet. All right.
Alright, this is going nice and smooth. Just want to do this to be able to have the shorter path back once we have our last crewmate here.
How do I get out of here?
Gotta love teammates that just join in whenever you start punching a box. Alright, so I believe that's the end of the Arbiter mission.
No, it's too late. I can't keep the ship afloat any longer. Whatever it was the Brotherhood wanted here, they're going to die for it. And if we don't leave right now, we'll drown too.
See, the first time I played the game and I heard that line, I thought that we would get a potential Phoenix or Dark Phoenix story with Jean giving a line that grim. But that's not how things pan out. But let's see how they do pan out. Easy mode. Oh. Hope there's a wall there. Or would that be better for him or not? I'm not entirely sure. Right. So it's time for us to see why the Brotherhood came over here. It is a weeknight. Yeah. In case you didn't immediately recognize him,
The savior of the mutant race is free! Our destiny is at hand. His words shall ring to all corners of the land. For he shall come forth and wage war upon our enemies. Who will rise up to usher in a new age. Like gods they will be.
in case you didn't immediately recognize him before he got the helmet, that bit of metal work should have clued you in.
It is time to set my house in order.
Yes. Magneto is now in play. Which obviously means things are just going to get more complicated.
I'm Deborah Owens for RBN World News. Our top story tonight, the attack on the USS Arbiter. Earlier today, a terrorist group known as the Brotherhood of Mutants boarded the Arbiter and forced their way into the lower decks. Once there, they released an electromagnetic burst that severely crippled the ship. Officials were quick to point out that even though the Arbiter sank, there was no loss of human life. This event gave General Kincaid more fuel for his anti-mutant sentiment. At a press conference, the general said that should things continue in this vein,
Homo sapiens. We stand upon the edge of a brave new world, and evolution has found you lacking. I invite all mutants to congregate at the Mount. Together we will force the Homo sapiens to make way for their true masters. Homo superior.
Foreboding. Alright, we're back at the mansion, which means it's time to see how our girl Allison is doing again. And to check if we have any more playable characters to unlock. I don't remember if there are any flashback missions in this mansion segment, but we'll go ahead and explore.
Things at the mansion become really tense now that Magneto is free. Professor Xavier spends a lot of time with Cerebro. Cyclops is still stressed out.
Alright, so Been a while since we've been able to see Allison's level up screen, so let's see how far she's gotten. 4 levels? Yeah, that'd be 3 since level 10 is included, and that gives you 2 points. 2 to body, 2 to focus. Oh, we can't unlock magma form yet, still need 2 more level ups. Is anything worth spending? Okay, erupting rage for big fiery punches. Critical strike, I guess. This unlocks a 14 and we're 2 levels away, so we might as well just put the points into something. Since them just sitting around isn't gonna do anything. Enhanced lava tracks for the memes. And some more magmamite. Alright, start walking around. Do we have a spare muscle accelerator? That'd be nice to put on Allison to make these segments go by a teeny bit faster. There we go. Yeah, look at her motoring. I walk around the dorms, see if anybody new is here, because I never remember these things completely accurately. Alright, so nobody on this floor. Head down. I think the front lawn area isn't accessible for this segment, but I'll confirm that in just a minute here. Or however long this loading screen takes. And yeah, this could be some time for some danger room stuff. Front line. Check back again soon. Alright, so that spares us one of the larger areas. One of the things that happens is that immediately everybody's conversations around the mansion become a lot more tense. I guess I could show it by talking to Nightcrawler, since he's one of my favorite he's got one of my favorite vocal performances in the game.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. I trust all is well with you?
A little light reading, eh?
Yeah.
You're an...
Oh, yeah. All this turmoil over Magneto and the mutants and humans, it makes my heart ache. I dislike the fact that we are all rational adults, and yet we still cannot live in peace.
We are all rational adults.
Do you
It's a
read
lot of
lot?
faith in the people, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I am at home among books, and I am guessing that you are too.
How could you tell?
I have found that people who read are able to look beyond the appearance of other people and see them for what they truly are. And you are such a person.
Sort of like not judging a book by its cover.
The metaphor was going so much better until you actually spelled it out.
So you grew up...
It was exciting, and it was...
The way the voice clips, the voice
clips
clips cut out that way.
Limited options in the outside world, but put him under the big top, and he become.
A little...
No, we already listened to this. And here is, just in case you missed something in the flashback, since there are collectibles there, you can replay them by just prompting the same vocal line from there.
Off Wiedersehen, Nightcrawler.
Is there sure? If I did not know better, I would think you are German.
You didn't subtitle everything he said there. And I don't know enough German to, plug that gap. There's Jubilee. Basically, everybody's going to give some variation of Magneto's bad news, and we are super tense. And I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time listening to these convos for the time being, so we will head down into the sub-basement. I think I remember what this mansion segment's for, but I'll wait to confirm it. Hey, good old save point. And done. Now, let's see, Beast is there, but Beast doesn't have a second flashback. Okay, yeah, I don't want to go there yet. That's the X-Jet hangar, and there is something I want to do there, but not right away. The thing in the hangar is probably going to be what I end with today, but we'll see. Depends on how long everything else before that takes. I guess that Cyclops is here. No. Muscle accelerator helping us get there before the door closed.
Hello, Allison.
I'm really, really sorry about all that damage I did to the danger room.
Kid, if I...
Yes, Allison. Part of the...
What do you say?
Okay.
Good.
Alright, so if you watch the previous parts, regardless, Allison does a little danger room training sequence, and it ends up very explosive for everybody involved. So now she's getting a second shot.
Now don't you go worrying, kiddo. We're gonna watch you every step of the way. If I'm lying, I'm dying, kiddo.
That's a nice line.
Okay.
So if you watched part 1, you might recognize this as the same area of New York where we started the game as Wolverine. So what they've decided to do is to let Allison essentially play out her own rescue mission. The thing is, since it's the exact same sequence, the enemies have not leveled up at all. So in the time it takes me to explain what's going on, I'm already finished with the first 2 screens here. Alright, we'll go up. That is some distance. I wonder if I could have fallen off there. I want to say there are no hits, but, you know, can never be too sure. Yeah, she's not magma yet. Her face looks eerily photorealistic compared to all the other art that we've seen in the game.
Am I playing too rough for you?
Alright, so that's where Avalanche cuts off our access. I really gotta figure out what's going on with this, because this was not happening before. There might be something running in the background.
You weren't so tough.
Time you freaks learned a lesson.
Alright, now you're seeing with Allison, she's no longer throwing punches or kicks. When your elemental-based passive goes beyond a certain level, instead of punching and kicking, you start doing this cool kind of... I don't know what exactly to call it, but they just kind of project energy and use it to slam the energy damage into the opponent instead of what was happening before. And even her stance changes from the generic stance that Cyclops, Iceman, and the rest use.
Come on, let's go.
All right.
You know,
What's going
fool me once, fool me twice, all that good stuff.
Time to heat things up.
Fool. You think I came here alone?
But the thing with that is, Allison was not here when Wolverine got fooled by Mystique into thinking that that was Cyclops. So I don't blame her for not realizing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm using Allison, no mutant powers. Except for this one. You know, to further reduce the damage that I'm not taking. That is some good distance. Helps us finish things faster.
You're one of the mighty X-Men.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same mission down to a T, and I guess they saved on assets by doing this and just plugging Allison into this.
I will annihilate you.
But I guess back in the day, this kind of stuff was a bit more common. But then again, I don't know. I don't play enough new games to fully be able to comment on resource and asset reusage. Okay, so this pickup wasn't there in the original mission. Alright. Sketchbook.
You are destined.
Yeah, this is... With our level right now, this is basically just a playable cutscene. But we'll enjoy it, I guess. Rare time we're not stressing about dying. Yeah, you see the pop-up there? And the nice thing about these attacks is you look at that reach. Look at that range. Enables you to attack just a tiny bit sooner.
No, not her.
You can win this fight, Allison. I know you can.
See, Wolverine's voice sounded like it was being projected through the PA system. Storm sounds like she was, like, in there with us. Okay, so, yeah, her life bar starts draining because we have to go through the phase of the mooks appearing, and then we fight her again. Yeah, luckily we don't have to worry about any real damage from her slap, unlike when we were here as Wolverine. And that was easy enough.
See that? I did it! I beat Mystique!
Great
proud.
job, kid. But now you gotta go save yourself from Blob.
Oh, right. I almost forgot.
Alright, we don't get You'll Never Stop Blob. Healing up that tiny bit of damage we took. And the mission is, you know, copied down to a T, to the point that we will have a certain someone appear in just a minute here. Oh, there he is. Cyclops joins us now. He just continues what he's been doing when you know, we're controlling him. But we're going to stay with Allison all the way through until we finish this segment. This is her story, after all.
And stay down!
Alright. We took one hit there, and it still took a surprisingly high amount of health from us, more than I would have anticipated. Camera struggling to keep up. Typical of this era, I guess. Yeah, Allison does help us move faster.
That's me, Karen.
Oh!
Get this guy away from me!
Wait,
Hey, come back here!
does the NPC Allison always use that stance? I want to say her stance gets updated because of what our Allison is like right now.
Oh, yeah. Don't take another step closer, Blob!
Who put you underwater all of a sudden for recording that line?
Quiet, stop me, Green Buff!
And the nice thing is, since we do energy damage now,
How this is gonna hurt you a lot
Blob's
more
physical
than
resistance is irrelevant. So we'll be done here in one more combo.
I did it!
Alright, it's thematically, for the story, I understand why that sequence is the way it is.
Allison,
I
you were
think it is
magnificent.
very pertinent.
I saw the entire exercise. Very commendable, Allison. You've already shown vast improvement in controlling your power.
Professor,
I agree, Scott, but we must allow Allison to grow at her own rate.
Me?
What do you say, Allison?
Yes!
How about Pebbles?
Oh, hush, Logan.
Stratus?
Those are good suggestions, but, I kinda had a name in mind already. How about Magma?
Magma.
She said that with so
An
much
excellent
gusto.
choice. Welcome to the X-Men. Magma.
What about the uniform?
Follow me, dear.
I appreciate this moment. I think for the story, her mentally overcoming the day she got kidnapped and everything that had to do with that, it was essentially the big mental block that she was dealing with in terms of, you know, accepting her place on the team. And I think as a concept that it's done really well. She has to overcome Mystique and Blob and all the, you know, dangers that the Brotherhood posed in that first mission that she saw Wolverine and Cyclops do. And, you know, those two are highly experienced. She sees them do it and it's like, oh, there's no way I can do what they do. The only problem is that they didn't level up the enemies. If they'd leveled up the enemies from a gameplay perspective, I mean, if the enemies were scaled to our current level, that mission would have been a bit more fun rather than being the playable cutscene that it was. But I'll live. I think overall that it's one of the stronger moments in the story. Now, speaking of story, we can do the other thing I've been looking forward to doing over here in the Icejet hangar. So if my memory serves, there should be somebody here. Come on, I know you're here. There he is.
Hey kid, nice to see the team's getting some new blood.
See, the reason I wanted to do the Danger Room sequence first is because Wolverine isn't here if I don't finish that.
Isn't this kind of an odd time to be...
Nah, working with my hands helps clear my mind.
I never got a chance to thank you for...
You're a powerhouse, kid. You just need to learn a little self-control. But then who am I to be talking about self-control?
Jean called you a man of mystery. What did she mean?
Jean said that, huh? Well, kid, I'm a mystery even to myself. I can't remember anything before I woke up in a laboratory tank at the Weapon X facility a few years back. But I can tell you, the creeps that put me in that tank are always gonna remember me. The few that are still living.
You know, some of the line deliveries in these last few sequences for Wolverine and Xavier especially have been really good. Patrick Stewart's obviously a powerhouse, but I think it was Steve Bloom that voiced Wolverine. You know what? Let's go ahead and, you know, find out for certain. Okay. It's Steve Bloom. So that tracks. Steve Bloom has essentially been the most prolific voice actor for Wolverine, and it tracks that he's the one behind the voice here.
To you at the Weapon X?
It happened some years ago. I came to in some oversized aquarium with tons of wires coming out of my skin. All I wanted were two things: freedom and revenge.
Yeah, this is, you know, this part of the story in general, I think, is just really well put together. The whole thing with the Allison sequence and then getting access to the Wolverine flashback, which, of all the flashbacks, is probably the most iconic one to this game. I'm not the biggest Wolverine fan, not these days, but I can acknowledge that this sequence is very well placed.
Such strength, such anger. He is a prime specimen for this experiment.
His adrenaline levels are rising fast. And look at those EKGs.
How is that possible? Administer an additional liter of depomorphine.
It's having no effect.
Amazing. The others weren't even close to this bestial elegance.
Sir, he's going to be conscious in a few seconds.
It's as if rage is his lifeblood.
He's out of control, sir! We've got to get out of here! Now!
Fascinating. This one is indeed the perfect Weapon X.
Yep, so we get to play as Wolverine right on the day that he broke out of his containment in the Weapon X facility. And I mean, what can I say? It's a genius idea for a flashback mission, just in every possible way. It's one of the most well-known story facts about Wolverine. Now, the thing is, since we haven't been using Wolverine, he isn't leveled up enough to have Eviscerate, but Brutal Slash should still be doing a lot of work here. Okay, we can take a point off of Claw Flurry because if we're already using Brutal Slash, Claw Flurry is pretty worthless, especially with the little pose that Wolverine has to strike. Healing Factor, it'll do enough. Sharpness is leveled up as high as it can go, so we'll take a couple points into Feral Rage to help us get around faster and fight enemies better. Okay, so I want to say we're supposed to break down the wall here. There we go. Definitely want to save here. This mission, now especially with a slightly underleveled Wolverine, this could get a bit dicey. And it's a solo mission, so we don't have anything to back us up if things go awry. Luckily Wolverine is Wolverine, very strong. No physical resistant enemies, which is great. Okay, I don't need any of the packs down there, so no need to deal with the extremely wonky collision detection that I might have to deal with to try to get out of there. That's what we're talking about. And with a DNA generator, we should be able to keep up this stream of Brutal Slashes. I don't think the soundtrack of this game is that great, but I think this is one of the better pieces in the game. Fits with the whole kind of sinister feel of this place.
Help! I need security guards now.
Alright, nice and easy. Yeah, and another nice touch is that the doors are all automatically locked down because, you know, they're trying to keep Wolverine trapped in here. Oh, they hit me right before the Brutal Slash landed. You gotta be careful. See what I'm talking about earlier? The amount of damage you take from enemies is so high that even a character with a fairly high body stat like Wolverine is still going to go down in just a few hits, especially from the physical enemies in the game. They hit really, really hard. Alright, good stuff.
Good night, Bob.
That's the only thing I guess they couldn't quite do is give him a different set of voice lines to reflect his more savage state here. But, you know, again, game is a product of its time. I appreciate that they went as far as giving this mission here. Alright. Yeah, if I hit the higher end of the damage, it can be a one-hit KO.
I'm the best at what I do. Yeah, ain't no one standing in my way.
Alright, I literally just leveled up, so energy is... And seeing the guy, the director from earlier, constantly running away, this is probably the first one of these that they did, and then the others followed, and it kind of shows in the difference in, you know, the other flashback missions are fine. Like, the Juggernaut one's pretty good, but it's still just the Juggernaut as he is in a destructible environment. Just a pretty straightforward boss fight. The Sentinel flashback is as cool as it is in terms of having some of the best looking outfits for the X-Men, is probably the least interesting because it's just fighting a bunch of Sentinels in sequential areas. But this flashback is honestly probably the best one. Yeah, Wolverine is the only character in the game that gets 3 different loading screens. Or actually, that's 4, because he has 2 in his default outfit, 1 for his yellow and blue outfit, and then 1 for Weapon X. Alright. Nice and easy. I say that a lot, don't I? Because this is definitely pretty different for me. I'm used to commentary and talking over other people playing games, usually fighting games, and narrating that. But I'm definitely not used to kind of describing my own experiences. But it's been fun. I'm slowly feeling like I'm getting more and more used to it.
Security!
Yeah, there he is.
Destroy that thing!
Okay, yeah. There are later segments in the game with a similar thing where you can attack those. Well, you can attack that apparatus to open the door, but that's not possible for Wolverine, I guess. Oh, he jumped up as I was jumping down. Yeah, the reason I upped sharpness on the last level up is to start bypassing enemy dodging. They won't always suffer hit stun from my attacks, but they'll always be taking damage, which is key. Alright. It's going smoothly so far. Except for that miss. That could have been bad if they were attacking. Sharpness also adds this bit of damage over time effect. And that's pretty handy for if an enemy almost dies from any attack. I don't have to worry about them. I just kind of let the bleed damage do its work. That guy's going to go down in a minute here. Exactly. That's not enough damage here, but we can just continue that way.
Time you freaks learned a lesson.
Sweet dreams, sucker.
Alright. That handles that. There were exploding barrels right behind that wall. I completely forgotten about that. That could have been so bad if I was low on health. Luckily I wasn't. Okay. That was cheeky, planting that grenade there. Very cheeky.
Who's next?
Alright, as we keep chasing. Hold on. This is me going backwards, I think. Oh, why haven't I been using this? Woo! Watch that speed difference.
Time you freaks learned a lesson.
That's Wolverine's buff being activated, Feral Rage. It buffs some of his unimportant stats like strike and whatnot, especially at later levels, but really the main thing I like using it for is because it makes him move 30% faster, which is just really nice for getting around quickly. Because in case you haven't noticed, traversal in this game can be pretty slow. I'm still going here. Alright. Still love these voice lines from these enemies. Okay. This is probably the most dangerous section of the whole thing. Not because of any enemies, it's just a whole series of traps. And a lot of them will take us out in either one hit or just a few very quick fire series of hits. So it's pretty dangerous. We have to play around it pretty carefully. That's a pit. That's death if we fall into it. But yeah, like that's not an actual double jump, that is just the jumping heavy attack. But yeah, I kind of use it as a little boosted jump. Okay, make sure. I'm not gonna put on Feral Rage yet. I'll keep it on I'll probably do it for the sections where I just get to run. Any place where I have to jump, I don't want to have to worry about that. That sound is that you might be hearing is probably the scariest part of this whole sequence. Whoa, 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 whoa. Activate this, dash through. The hitbox on those flames is very deceptive. Okay, gotta be careful here. Almost ran into it. Okay. Oh.
I'm fading quick.
That activated again way quicker than I thought it would. I probably could have just mashed on health recovery and been fine there, but, you know. Okay, now I don't know if I saved before or after. Okay, I think I saved after I turned off the Gatling guns over there. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, gotta be careful not to fall into this again. My movement. Okay. Ah, it didn't do it. I could just, whoa, whoa, whoa. So it is an actual trick in the pattern. Okay. But it's okay. We survive. Now, this right there is the part I'm talking about. This thing's going to come down, and if I'm standing in that area when it launches its little green glob of doom, I just instantly die. But we're safe now. I want to say... I think there was a collectible somewhere. No, not there. Okay. Turn on Feral Rage for faster movement. Don't want to get burned. Okay.
Get away, you beast! Don't come near me!
Weird. It showed a danger room disc in the beginning of the sequence. I'm not gonna go to him yet. I'll just double check that first. Oh yeah, there it is. Challenge Wolverine, yeah, okay. Meh, that tracks. Alright. Time to go murder a sadistic scientist. Yay, for another level.
Now I'm really ready for a scrap. You! Keep away from me, freak. I had every right to experiment on you. All you mutants are just sideshow oddities that deserve to be dissected. No! No!
Justice. So there it was, the Weapon X sequence.
So they treated you pretty bad there, huh?
If it weren't for my mutant healing ability, I'd have died 100 times over.
Yeah. Still one of the coolest things in this game, in my opinion. Just a very well done sequence, I think. Alright, so... yeah, we're holding off to get Allison Magma Form, which you guess at level 14. I was trying to jump and do magma tracks, forgot that you can't jump in the mansion sequences. Oh, right, I need to actually go up the stairs. Alright, I'll go to the save point. I don't plan on starting another mission today, but maybe do some danger room stuff. Not sure if I'll do that now or just maybe do it off stream till I do the next mission. And kind of maybe make this kind of the last time we do danger room stuff that isn't character specific challenges. Yeah, gotta save the success on that Wolverine mission, and yeah, let's take a look at what's going on in the danger room. Sophomore. Oh, I don't have access to junior yet, but I have some 300 level. Okay, rogue. What's the recommended level? Focus. Okay, these should all be pretty quick to do. So let's go ahead and handle them. All right, Scotty can stay, obviously. He's our main guy. Do I up tactics? No, point blank shot's a better investment. All right, Jean, she's back. Let's see, telekinetic combat. Yeah, there is. And you see the damage brackets that this keeps going up, right? So more kind of proof of concept of why Jean is just a ridiculously busted character. But considering we're already on a good damage bracket, we could do that one later. And okay, I can't actually put 2 points into telekinetic shell, so we'll keep that here. Let's see. Logan did your job. Kirk can come back now. Storm? Let's see. Beast. We've used Beast a bit. We haven't really fielded Jubilee outside of a couple of Danger Room missions, but I'm not particularly thrilled about the idea of fielding her, so
Gambit.
we could go for another fan favorite here, and Gambit. Let's see, Focus Enhancer. Sure, all of these are pretty useless. Let's see, if he's at level 13, so I'll put all points but 2 into Focus and the rest into Body. Now, his buff is his most important power. Let's see. So we'll want to buff these so his melee damage keeps getting stronger. This is a cute little gimmick, but I don't plan on using it. Staff Slam, Charge Card, yeah, we'll go with Staff Slam. Charge Card is another like multi-part projectile. Staff Slam is a nice little radial attack. Its damage is pretty poor right now. Honestly, Gambit's damage in general is pretty poor to start with, but once he breaks past a certain threshold, he will become a better character. All right, I think, yeah, let's go for this. And since this is a lower level mission, it should be pretty safe for me to experiment with Gambit a bit.
The training course has loaded. You may commence.
Okay, yeah.
Generating opponent.
Who's next?
The idea is to beat
Generating
Morlock Goths.
Generating opponent.
Who are the mental resistant enemies that resurrect the others.
Generating opponent.
Combo!
Generating opponent.
Where are they?
Generating opponent.
We
Generating
only need to finish one more. Okay, there it is.
Oh, so sorry about that.
Generating opponent. Generating a well done.
There we go.
The course is now
Yeah,
complete.
Gambit's an energy-focused, up-close fighter. His buff makes him faster, which is always a good thing to have. Be able to move fast in these games. So that's something I'm going to try to work out. I'm not sure if he'll be on the team in the long term yet. Scott and Nightcrawler are the two that I'm sure will be seeing the most action.
The training course is active.
Okay, so it's more Morlock Goths.
Generating opponent.
The thing is, we've got the Morlock Outsiders, who are the higher level version of the Goths, and they don't count for the mission.
Yes.
Whoa,
Generating
that was
opponent.
60 damage all at once.
Who's next?
Joe.
Alright, activate the buff.
Generating
What happened to you? Did you trip?
Alright, it's 3 down.
Generating opponent.
That was a lot of damage for one punch from the kind of enemy that we saw in previous areas. Alright, yeah, we might need to put some more points on body for Gambit. What else can we buff here? Staffmaster? We can't improve kinetic amplification, but we are going to get 2 points on level 15, so we could leave that for then. Staff Slam? Yeah, bring it closer to a good damage break.
This ain't over.
Sunfire's Mask is some free cash. Alright, one more of them.
Generating
That had to hurt.
Yeah, I think the speed buff only kicks in at the higher ranks
All
for
objectives
Gambit.
have been
Oh, that was his
successfully
trip attack.
Course
That
is
is
now complete.
that is sick. That looks pretty cool. Okay, then we can do Rogue's Challenge. Infinite energy, which means we get to punch a whole lot.
You may now begin
hey.
your course.
A bit more for Rogue. Ooh, she gets to fight Mystique, which is, you know, pretty story significant for her. She is connected with
Generating opponent.
Mystique and Nightcrawler.
Good job. Good.
All right, we'll be doing a lot of this.
Excellent.
Since we have infinite energy, all right,
Nicely
let's go
done.
ahead and buff up to reduce the damage we
Generating
face.
opponent.
There's Mystique.
Generating opponent.
Her punch is actually hitting
Excellent
multiple
job. You have
targets,
completed all course objectives.
which Wolverine's Brutal Slash can't do. Oh. Rogue might be making me reconsider. The thing is, her basic melee attacks are so bad and her energy consumption is so high that I'd still be hesitant to consider her. And I'm already, oh yeah, Magma's another character that I'm planning on including for a few missions, maybe even long term. All right, put some, no, body. She needs more body. And there we go, Magma form unlocked. Save here. I'll double check the shop, see if qualifying exam 200 is here. If it's here, then we could probably close the stream with that. Oh, right. Forge isn't the one that sells Danger Room discs. Strangely enough, the tech guy who works with the X-Men is not the one. Okay, so it's not the qualifying exam 200. So, yeah, I guess that'll be a good place to call it. Yeah, getting a bit sleepy over here. It's been fun doing this, really, again, as I mentioned pretty much at the end of every stream, but it's been fun kind of getting to play this game and explore it while talking about it, because while I talk, it kind of makes me think about things that I've taken for granted with this game, and kind of reevaluating my stance on certain characters. Probably what I might do at the end of all this is I will make a tier list of all the playable characters in the game. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Just need to set up the right tier maker stuff for it. But yeah, it's been nice. I'll be continuing this, you know, whenever I get time to. And until next time, take care.